Our top story, well, forced disappearances seem to become the new norm in Pakistan. In the past couple of months, a number of people have reported that their loved ones are missing. They say that their family members were picked up by men in civilian clothes and they never saw him or her again. In some cases, it's been worse. Dead bodies of people were found on the roadsides a couple of days after they went missing. So what exactly is happening in Pakistan? Well, it is a breakdown of the law and order and a clear case of state brutality. The victims are mostly Pashtuns, the Urdu-speaking Muhajirs or the Baluchs and members of the Shia community. Journalists and some social media activists too have not been spared. Data says that at least 5,507 people have gone missing since 2014. And this data is only till the last October. Locals say that the numbers are much higher actually. According to reports, at least 20,000 people have been abducted from Balochistan alone. Locals found bullet-riddled bodies of 2,500 of these men. The situation has become so bad that the United Nations has had to step in. The UN Human Rights Commission has written a letter to Pakistan saying, and I quote here, "You may know that enforced disappearances is a human rights concern that has great personal resonance with the High Commission. Therefore, we offer you any assistance the office can provide to help end this practice in Pakistan." Now, forget trying to end the brutality. Imran Khan's government denied playing any role in these forced disappearances. The government issued a press release 2 days after receiving the letter from the UN Human Rights Commission. Pakistan's press release said, "Our hearts go with the families of missing persons. However, we must realize that not every person missing is attributable to the state." All the fingers, however, are pointing at Pakistan's notorious military.
तो मिसिंग पर्सनस का कमीशन कायम किया गया, उस पर बहुत सारी डेवलपमेंट हुई। जो इनिशियल फिगर आए थे उससे बहुत कम हो गया है और हुकूमत और उनके साथ इदारों की मिलकर कोशिश है कि इस मसले को लॉजिकल कंक्लूजन तक पहुंचाएं।
What is ironic amidst all of this is that Imran Khan's PTI has raised the issue of enforced disappearances in its election manifesto, but it is been almost a year since Imran Khan's party has formed the government in Pakistan, and like his several other promises, his promise to crack down on forced disappearances too has vanished into thin air. And well, joining us to talk a little bit more about this is Hamal Haider, spokesperson of the Baluch National Movement, live with us from Toronto. Thanks very much, Hamal Haider, for talking to us this evening. Your thoughts on, the figures and the numbers we're seeing of forced disappearances in Pakistan, despite the promises by the Pakistani government?
Well, actually, the number is higher than 5,000, and we have the records and the details of the family members who have submitted their missing persons detail. They are with us. The number is actually more than 20,000. And there are two groups who are working for the human rights of Baluch people. And one of them is the missing person, the Human Rights Council of Balochistan, and the other is Mama Hadi's missing person group, and both have presented their documents, and the number is more than 20,000. And this abduction of Baluch political activists actually began in 2001, and it's been continuous since then. And in 2008, Pakistan started a brutal campaign of killing them. The people who went missing later found dead in the desolated places of Balochistan, and mostly their bodies were bullet-riddled or mutilated and beyond recognition.
Right. So where do you see this headed? How do you see this being solved? And we remember that in January 2019, actually, Pakistan's Ministry of Human Rights had actually submitted a draft bill to the Ministry of Law on enforced disappearances. However, that is still pending, we believe, and the process has not included consultations with civil rights groups or actually families of the victims at all.
Well, Pakistan doesn't work by the law, and they do not respect their own law, and we have no expectation that Pakistani law can solve this issue at all. And now the ISI and the other Pakistani spy agencies have also started abducting Pashtuns and other minorities in Pakistan. Whatever being done or shown off in media is not going to be fruitful in this regard unless an international group or a well-respected body like UN steps in and takes, strong measures against Pakistan. The way they issued their report recently is a good thing, and we have been knocking their doors for the last 6-7 years, and now they have responded, which is a good development, I guess. But whatever they do and their constitution, or they use their parliamentary puppets they have selected, I think none of these actions are going to solve Balochistan's issue or the issue of enforced disappearances.
Right, and finally, of course, in many of these cases, after the forced disappearances and the bodies are found, the families of these victims are threatened time and again. And you're pointing out how international sanctions may be one of the ways that Pakistan can be brought to book on this. But do you think that there will be enough international pressure? There is pressure building on other issues like terror financing. We've seen that with the FATF. We're seeing that with the IMF bailout of the Pakistani economy. But do you think that this issue of forced disappearances and the Baloch issue gets enough focus in the international media or international bodies?
Yeah, the struggle against enforced disappearances is gaining impetus. A few years ago, it was us, the Baloch, who were getting abducted on a daily basis. But now this has expanded. Other ethnic groups like Pashtuns and minority groups are also suffering from the hands of the Pakistani spy agencies. Now we are in contact with each other and we are helping each other. And there is a very strong political pressure within Pakistan. The Baloch, Sindhis, Pashtuns and other minority groups are together now. So we are on the same page and we are trying our best to put pressure on Pakistan. And there are good organizations and good people in the civilized world. They also support our movement. They also know that Pakistan is the culprit. They are not only involved in abducting,
right,
but they are also involved in spreading Islamic fundamentalism in that region, which is also a very fundamental problem. So we believe unless and until these international bodies take action against Pakistan, there is not going to be any change. We are not going to see any change in that particular region.
Right. Hamal Haider, thanks very much indeed for joining us live from Toronto and sharing your thoughts on what can be done in the forced disappearances that are taking place on a large scale in Pakistan.